Hello, my name is Dan Wendol, and I am the owner and founder of Dolphin Financial Group. I was born and raised in Long Island, New York, and I was the youngest of four boys. My dad was a public high school teacher, and my mom eventually went to work for the IRS as soon as I was old enough to take care of myself. I eventually moved away and went to Babson College outside of Boston to receive my investments degree. But when I finally got to Wall Street on the interviews, I didn't like the vibe at all. So I eventually moved to Minnesota to work with a college friend, and we started a company to help public schools integrate technology. About 5 years later, I moved back to New York and went back to finance. I learned more during those years than I had in all the years of college prior. Eventually, my 3 kids were born, and my focus at work shifted as well. So instead of trading corporate money, I started helping individuals and families. I quickly learned that, of all things, health insurance was a huge priority for retirees or those getting close to retirement. So I added an insurance license to my financial licenses and started my own company. My wife and I then decided to move away from New York and headed south to Florida. My clients, although many are local, seem to be nationwide. I got into the financial services business because it's just something I've always wanted to do. I had a strong interest in investing in the stock market, so I knew I would end up in this industry at some point. What guided me toward the retirement planning space was seeing my parents deal with financial issues in their retirement. My dad was a teacher and never got into financial matters, and my mom, who ran the daily finances, also wasn't educated in the area. They never really focused on long-term retirement planning, just the day-to-day. And I knew if my parents were having trouble with this, I was going to run into a lot of other people that had the same issues. So I felt a significant level of satisfaction helping these people with these high-stakes financial decisions, and I decided to focus specifically on retirement planning. The biggest concern I see with retirement today is a lack of planning. People are saving money, hopefully, but that's about it. Much of the financial advice they get is about investing for the short term or long term. They're not really understanding what happens when they switch from working to not working or retirement. Since pensions have gone away and are certainly less common, the decisions around what to do with your savings when you retire are extremely important, and they're often very confusing and misunderstood by many. Whereas you used to have an income given to you in retirement, now you have a lump sum of money and you have to make some really tough decisions on how to make that money last. Many people hear retirement planning and they assume it has to do with investing. That's what most of the financial advisors talk about, is investing your money. While investing is important, it's a relatively small part of the big picture process. The other common misconception is that retirement planning is something retired people do. In fact, retirement planning should begin well before retirement occurs. You shouldn't get to retirement and start thinking about it. You should be thinking about it well before you plan to retire. My approach to working with clients is a big picture approach. It's not a transactional relationship, it goes much deeper. I suppose this is the primary reason I became a certified financial planner professional years ago. I wanted to make sure I was covering all the bases. I wanted my relationship with clients to be comprehensive and for them to feel comfortable enough to come to me with any financial concern or issue. Before I bring on a client, I like to spend the time learning about where they're going, what they're trying to accomplish, and I also want to give them an opportunity to learn about my style and my personality. After all, no one wants to be in a relationship that makes them feel uncomfortable or inferior. One of the main taglines at Dolphin Financial Group is that a successful retirement is about increasing income and decreasing stress. So my philosophy with clients is to reduce the risk and the associated stress while ensuring that they have the income they need to retire and live the way they want to live. It's quite a shift from saving your whole life and then spending it. Many people struggle with that. The most rewarding part of my job is watching the clients turn that switch and start spending their money and feeling comfortable doing so. Once they start spending their money and are happy about it, that gives me a tremendous amount of joy and sense of accomplishment. The easiest way to contact us is just to pick up the phone and give us a call. I would recommend before you call us that you look at our weekly podcast that we've been doing for years. Since 2020, I started putting the radio show online in a video format. After watching a few of those videos, you'll get a good sense if you want to pick up the phone and give us a call or set up an online meeting or a face-to-face meeting with me. My initial meetings are always conducted at no cost. I want to get to know you before I can say I am able to help you. We usually talk for about 30 minutes and learn about each other. Sometimes I will be able to answer a question, and that is all you need. Other times, we both see that there is more work to do. After that, I will often meet a second time or a third time and provide a high-level vision for how I see the retirement planning relationship continuing. After hearing and feeling what I'm offering to the relationship, people will have the opportunity to decide if they want to continue and hire my firm to help them make their retirement dream a reality.